Allah makes clear that all of the prophets were given the same religion and the same message to call to. The same exact religion. Listen to the names. We're all familiar with it. As we mentioned, Allah said, indeed, we revealed to you, Muhammad, the same thing we revealed to Noah and all of the prophets after him. And it's the same thing that we revealed to Abraham, to Ishmael, right? That's how you say it in English, right? Ishmael? Okay. Ishmael. To Ishaq, Isaac. To Yaqub, Job, wa Asbat. Here, the Asbat means the 12 tribes of Jacob. They all got the same revelation, the same religion. They call to the same thing. Wa Isa. Who's Isa? Not my son Isa. Not this Isa. Jesus. Jesus. Wa Ayub, Job. Wa Yunus, Jonah. Wa Harun, Aaron, the son of Moses. The brother of Moses. Right? Wa Suleiman. Solomon. وَأَتَيْنَا Dawood, Zabur. And then Allah says, and we gave to David the Psalms in the Quran. All the prophets upon the same exact methodology, the same religion. And they all call to the same thing. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's all about having proof for what you're upon, right? You have to have proof. And proof is of two types. Write this down. Those of you who have pens and paper, this is important. Proof is of two types. Textual proof, right, from the text, meaning from the books. And intellectual proof. Meaning that if a person looks at something, they don't have to be told about that thing, or rather what it will do to you. They know the harm that could come from it just by getting close to it. Like, for instance, you don't have to put your hand over a flame to know that it's going to burn. Just standing next to fire and you feel the heat, you say, yeah, I better not get too close to that. Bad idea. No one has to take your hand and hold it over the flame. Intellectual proof. It's important. From the proof. Because when a person believes, he go another, some more conditions. What faith is. We need to write this down too. I'm so happy to see people with pen and paper. Because it shows that, you know, you're serious about coming here and trying to learn and understand things properly. Faith has components, okay? Faith has components. Those components is of three things. The first component is the belief in the heart, meaning when knowledge comes to a person in their heart, they feel that this is the truth. So the heart accepts it. This is the action of the heart. The second action that comes from faith is the statement on the tongue. When a person believes something in their heart, they're going to say it on their tongue, right or wrong. Look, if somebody hates Kool-Aid and you give them Kool-Aid, they're going to say, I hate Kool-Aid. Because they hate it here first. You see? So they're going to say it. Look, this final condition is true faith. And that is action upon the limbs. So it's the action of the heart, the statement on the tongue, and the action in the heart is acceptance. The statement on the tongue, and then the action upon the limbs. So when someone truly believes in a thing, you're going to see it on them. They're just not going to talk. Oh, I believe and you're going to see them doing that thing. That's proof that they really believe it. Right? Even if a man thought that he could swim and he never swam a day in his life, and he looked to his friend and says, I'm jumping in. He said, but you can't swim. Yes, I can. He believes it. Even though he can't, he's going to jump in. He's going to jump based upon what he believes. And we're going to have to save him. But he believes it. This is what true faith does to you. It causes you to act. Now, with that being said, we mentioned that all of the prophets submitted their will to God. And that submittance has a manifestation. It's something that's going to be seen on the limbs. Look. Genesis 17:3. This is the manifestation of submittance. It says, and Abraham fell on his face to his Lord. He went down on his face. You see Muslims pray? How many of us seen Muslims pray? I've seen Muslims pray. Okay? Genesis 17:3. And Abraham went down on his face. Numbers 20:6. And Moses and Aaron, they went into the temple after washing, and they fell on their face. Joshua, in the book of Joshua. Joshua 5:14. It says, and after a while, Joshua went in, and he fell on his face. Nehemiah. Somebody said, and I thought I read the Bible. Nehemiah 8, chapter 8, verse 6. Listen to this. This one, the Muslims, it may give you chills. Listen to this. In Nehemiah 8, chapter 6, it says, and Ezra, he blessed the Lord by saying, God is great. He blessed the Lord by saying, God is great, and the people answered behind him saying, Ameen. How familiar is that? Okay, look, the non-Muslims. Why did I say that this would give the Muslims chills? Because when we make the prayer that we have to do 5 times a day, the imam will be leading the salat. The first thing that he says to commence the prayer is, Allahu Akbar. And it says, Ezra said to his Lord, Allahu Akbar, God is great. He must have recited something. He must have recited something. I'm telling you. But it doesn't say what, and I'm not going to say what it was. But I know that after we say Allahu Akbar, we start to recite what's called Surah Al-Fatiha, the first chapter in this book. Watch. This is what you call physical reflux or reflex from people doing something so much. Watch. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. We do it all the time. Who would have thought it was in the Bible? Who would have thought? And he said, after the people said, Ameen, what did they do? He said they all bowed their heads and worshiped their Lord, and then they went into ruku' first. And then they went in prostration and they all put their faces on the ground. The manifestation of submittance. Wow. Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu arka'u wasjudud wa'budu rabbakum subhanallah waf'alu khayrun lakum tuflihun. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Hajj, chapter 22, verse 77. And I bring this ayat to show, or this verse to show, that Allah, during the time of Muhammad, commanded the Prophet Muhammad and the believers of his time and us today to do the same thing. Allah said, "O you who believe, bow down with those who bow down, and worship your Lord and do good actions so that you may be successful." I got la'allakum in my head. Now, you see?